Welcome to our channel Russian History. Today you will hear the mystical and dramatic story of Grigori Rasputin, a man who changed the fate of the Russian Empire. Grigori Efimovich Rasputin was born in the remote Siberian village of Pokrovskoye on the banks of the Tura River in 1869. He was one of many peasant children, but from a young age he stood out from his peers. While other boys chased geese and fetched water, Grigori could spend hours in solitude, lost in his own thoughts. Rumors about him as a man with a special gaze started early. They said he saw what others didn't, felt things in advance. Perhaps these were just rumors, but they swirled around him like smoke from a campfire. His youth was not easy. He married, had children, worked the land, but something within him drew him to a different path. One day, after a visit to the Verkhoturye monastery, a turning point occurred within him. He left his wife and children and set off on wanderings, becoming a stranik, a person who roams holy places, seeking spiritual enlightenment. For years, he wandered across Russia, visiting monasteries, conversing with hermits, gathering knowledge bit by bit, and, as was claimed, developing his unusual abilities. People were drawn to him, asking for advice, for healing. He was not a monk, had no ecclesiastical rank, but he was called starets, elder, Uradivi, holy fool titles full of respect and superstition. In the early 1900s, rumors of the Siberian starets reached St. Petersburg. Russian society of that era was gripped by mysticism, a search for new meaning, especially in the upper echelons. When Rasputin first appeared in the capital, he was crude, unkempt, and spoke with a strong Siberian accent. He drank, at times behaved quite freely, but possessed incredible charisma. He could read people's souls, feel their pain, their secret desires. And somehow this untamed energy, this contrast with sophisticated Petersburg society, only enhanced his allure. Princes and countesses, society ladies and ministers all flocked to him. He gave advice, comforted, predicted. Many believed he could heal illnesses and even read minds. Soon his name reached the ears of the imperial family. The heir to the throne, Tsarevich Alexei, suffered from hemophilia, an incurable disease at the time, where blood does not clot. Every bruise, every bump could be fatal. Empress Alexandra Feodorovna, herself deeply religious and prone to mysticism, was in despair. She had tried all doctors, all healers, but nothing helped. And then she was told about Rasputin, a man who, as they said, performed miracles. Rasputin was invited to the palace, and to the surprise of many, his presence indeed alleviated the Tsarevich's suffering. Perhaps he influenced Alexei through hypnosis, calming him, or simply created an atmosphere in which the child felt better. For the empress, blinded by maternal love and despair, it was a miracle. Rasputin became her savior, her only hope. His influence on the imperial family grew daily. He became their personal confessor, advisor, and for Alexandra Feodorovna almost a prophet. Through her, he began to influence political decisions. Ministers were appointed and dismissed at his word. Important state affairs were discussed with him. This provoked fury and indignation in high circles. Many considered him a charlatan, a drunkard, an immoral man who was ruining Russia by controlling the empress. Society was seething, discontent with the Tsarist government was growing, and Rasputin became a symbol of everything that was wrong. He was considered a German spy, a drunkard, a debauchee, disgracing the imperial family. Rumors of his improper behavior, his drunken escapades, and his liaisons with women spread throughout the country, undermining the monarchy's authority. A group of aristocrats and politicians, convinced that Rasputin was leading the country to ruin, decided to act. Among them were Prince Felix Yusupov, Grand Duke Dmitry Pavlovich, and State Duma deputy Vladimir Purishkevich. On the night of December 17, 1916, Old Style, Grigori Rasputin was lured to Yusupov's mansion on the Moika River. He was offered poisoned cakes and wine. Rasputin ate and drank, but the poison had no effect. The conspirators were horrified. Purishkevich shot him several times. Severely wounded, Rasputin managed to get out into the courtyard, but was overtaken and finished off. His body was bound and thrown into an ice hole on the Malaya Nevka River. Rasputin's death did not save the monarchy. Less than 3 months after his demise, the February Revolution swept away the Romanovs. Rasputin remained one of the most enigmatic and controversial figures in Russian history. For some, he was a holy visionary, for others a devil incarnate, a symbol of the decay of Tsarist power. His story is not just a biography, it is a mirror of an era full of superstitions, hopes, and premonitions of great change. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel Russian History and like this video to hear more fascinating stories about Russia's past.